What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Tesla. Welcome back to Tesla Talk Tuesday, and welcome back to the vlog. I apologize. I actually haven't filmed, I think, the last two Tesla Talk Tuesdays, partially due to just like poor cell service / tethering, meaning it takes a long time for me to upload. And two, last week I was dealing with my Tesla. If you haven't seen some recent vlogs, my Tesla broke. I did a 1,000-mile road trip from Maryland down to Florida. It was good for a little bit. It broke. I semi-fixed it in a grass field, and then I drove it 80 miles to a service center. So check those vlogs out if you want to. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Would really appreciate it if you haven't already. Just hit that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel. You can turn on notifications, but sometimes those get annoying, so I wouldn't even bother. Anyways, Tesla Talk Tuesday. I guess we'll just get into it because, well, there's a good amount of things and a lot of things I missed and some new things. So let's just start talking about some things. So first thing is first, the range, Tesla range. Well, just in general, the range on Teslas is just far beyond any other electric vehicle currently out there, based on the battery size and the range that the vehicles get. But not only that, I believe that they are the longest range electric vehicles available right now, in addition to that fact. And what is interesting is Tesla, for a while, had their long-range Model S's with an EPA rating of 370 miles. They recently were able to bump that EPA range to 390 miles on their website. Also, I believe that they're going to be able to bump the Model 3 range from 310 miles to 350 miles. And all of these efficiencies are simply due to software. Sorry, I thought it was a cop. Software improvements, not even any hardware updates like new battery technology, new drive units, or anything like that. So that is very, very cool what Tesla is doing. You know, it's a mix of probably the battery management system, how the accelerator sort of uses the energy in the battery, the regen braking, all that stuff. There's a lot of things that come into play when you're trying to figure these things out, but the efficiency on these cars is fantastic, and clearly there's tweaking that can be done just to the software to get better range out of these cars, which I'm sure means that other electric cars could probably do the same. I just don't think they're trying as hard as Tesla. You have, like, you know, the I-Pace, the e-tron, the Porsche Taycan that even has 2 gears in it. But either way, Tesla's doing awesome things. But going right on to that, apparently another, I guess, hacker is what you would call it. Not that they're hacking into Teslas and, you know, ruining people while they're driving, but they're able to see that the battery management system in the cars is expecting to be able to handle, I guess, a capacity of like 109 kilowatts, which means that the batteries would get bumped by about 10% from 100 kilowatt hour batteries to 110 kilowatt hour batteries, or 109 kilowatt hour batteries. What this means is, if Teslas are already getting 390 miles of range, if you just get a 10% bump in that, that's looking at almost another 40 miles of range, which puts you at over 400 miles for a long-range Tesla Model S. There are some reports that I think the Lucid, that electric car is supposed to come out, I want to say this year, but don't quote me on that. But they're saying that they're going to have even better efficiency and batteries, I guess, like usage of their battery than Tesla currently has, which will be very, very impressive. I think they have a good lineup of people there, and the efficiencies are doing well. Also, the Rivian, I believe, has pretty decent range, but, you know, until these cars come out and we have the official EPA range and what they're being advertised as, and people driving them and testing them, there's really no way to know, right? They're all just saying things, and until they actually prove it, well, it is what it is. Point being, Tesla has a 390 range electric vehicle. They have a 310 range cheaper electric vehicle, and well, they might actually be pushing over 400 miles of range easily by the end of the year. Maybe just in software increases, let alone if they actually do bump the battery sizes to 109, 110 kilowatts. So very neat stuff, and well, I would love to have almost double the range that my current P85 has. I charge on a daily basis to around 230 miles of range. If I had 400 miles of range, I mean, you could probably do the same 1,000-mile road trip I did from Maryland down to Florida with maybe 3 superchargers, maybe 4 to be safe, to like fully charge when you get down here. I think I did like 6, maybe, something like that. In other news, there has been another sighting of the Tesla Cybertruck, and this time it was actually at a gaming event. I guess there was a team of gamers that was brought out onto the stage in the Cybertruck. Previously, my understanding is this gaming team was sponsored or had some sort of partnership with Mercedes, and now they're being driven out by a Cybertruck. So super cool stuff right there. And speaking of the Cybertruck, Elon Musk has come out and confirmed that the width of the Cybertruck will be 82 inches, and that the light blade, thank you, Waze, and that the light blade, the like light bar almost that's at the top of the Cybertruck will be, I believe, standard on the truck as well. So both just good things to know. The blade, super cool option to basically come with effectively a built-in light bar at the top of the truck. The real question is will that be for off-road uses only, or will you be able to use this like while driving? Like, could it effectively be like a high beam or something like that? The Cybertruck is growing on me. I mean, it's definitely like an interesting and like radical design, but I mean, the practicality that you get from that is that it's like virtually indestructible, kind of. Like, you're not going to get dents and dings. Like, you can park in a parking lot and people are going to be afraid to park next to you because they're going to hit you with their car door when they open it. Nothing's going to happen to the Cybertruck, but their car is going to get a little messed up. So it is definitely an interesting design, but you know, it's because you had to make those flat, planar sort of steel prints in order to make those panels and to make the truck that strong. So it is what it is. But we are slowly getting more and more information about these trucks. I'm also very excited to hear about the, or I guess just to know in general, which was announced at the unveil of the truck, 500-mile range of these trucks. So like I was just saying, how the Model S's and Model 3s are getting more and more improvements. The idea is these trucks are going to be much, much larger than those things. I mean, they're absolute units. Like, we're getting the dimensions slowly more and more. Like I just said, he has confirmed an 82-inch wide stance for this truck. So if there's more width and length than a Model S, in theory you could obviously fit a much larger battery, and if in fact there is a much larger battery, that's probably partially how you're going to get the 500 miles. The other thing is efficiencies with the software. Now, speaking of software, Elon has confirmed that the Cybertruck will have some sort of like towing management system. So similar to right now where I'm on the highway and well, it gives me all the stops, but as you can see, there's superchargers on the map. And if I need to stop at a supercharger, it would automatically map that out in my route. From what Elon has hinted at or said, he's basically saying that the truck will real-time sort of update you on like acceleration available, braking, how much range you have left. Basically lots of things that are very helpful when you're towing potentially large capacities or just any capacity, to know how far you can still go based on efficiency loss from towing things. So this is very neat and super cool for people that also, coming from a regular ICE or internal combustion engine, diesel, gasoline, whatever it is, truck that tow a lot, you know that your miles per gallon decrease, but you can stop at any gas station and fill up. When you're driving an electric truck, that's sort of harder to predict, and there obviously aren't superchargers at every corner like there are with gas stations. So having sort of like a tow battery management system or software in the trucks, I think that is very cool and will maybe help convert some people, but you know, still for long range tows, it's gonna be hard, I think, to convert others because you have to stop for so long to recharge the batteries, and you know, just adding that extra, you know, 2-3 hours, or you know, having the necessity of needing to charge and not having chargers everywhere is still gonna, you know, keep some people away from that. But guys, here are some crazy stats for the Model 3 in California in 2019. It outsold all other EVs combined in 2019 in California, and well, this isn't just for the Model 3, but all Tesla vehicles combined in California make up 72.8% of the market of electric vehicles in California. Tesla is absolutely dominating all other electric vehicle sales, and you know, for all the right reasons. I mean, you have the autopilot capabilities of the car with full self-driving, maybe coming out at some point, partially based on regulation. You have the longest range. You have also still a degree of affordability. I mean, the Model 3s, well, not super affordable, but fairly affordable, especially the lower range ones that are being sold for in the $30,000 range, which is crazy. You can also get used Teslas for, you know, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for some of the performance versions of the Model S's, kind of like I got my car 2 years ago. But nonetheless, I mean, Tesla is crushing it, and the Model 3 is absolutely crushing it as well. I mean, the fact that the Model 3 outsold all other EVs combined in California in 2019, I mean, that says a lot about the Model 3 and the demand for it in general. And I think Tesla's just kind of killing it. And well, to be honest, I wouldn't hesitate buying another Tesla. I have had my share of problems with my car, but it has still been fantastic, and I bought it as a certified pre-owned vehicle, which means I had a warranty. If you buy a new Tesla vehicle, you have a warranty. So, you know, utilize that warranty, and hopefully the service center nightmares start to go down. But, you know, until they do, I guess you kind of have to buy the car knowing in the back of your head that it could be a possibility that you might have problems with a potential service center in your area. But, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Enjoy the cars while they're working, because they are fantastic. And most problems I've had have been resolved at the service center. My car has been there for maybe a day, 2 at most. But, you know, we'll see where they go in the next year or so when they are delivering, you know, close to 500,000 cars this year, potentially, maybe more than that. And you're going to have even more people that need servicing and things like that. So hopefully more sort of like second, third party, whatever you want to call it, people such as the electrified garage will open more locations. Maybe other people will start to open these locations as well, and we'll see more service centers that can service electric vehicles rather than just Tesla service centers. But only time will tell. And as you know, we start to creep over 10%, up to 20, 30, 40% of the cars on the road, I think it's just going to be inevitable that you will see more service centers that are third party and not necessarily Tesla owned. I've saved thousands of dollars in gas over the last 2 years and 30,000 miles that I've done in this car compared to another similar performance car that might only get 10 to 15 miles per gallon. I've probably saved, you know, anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000 depending on the price of gas in your area and the MPG that you would actually get in another performance car. So the amount of money that I've spent on my car, including like normal maintenance such as tires, that's really the only maintenance, is still less than I would have spent just on gas in another car. So that sort of also goes to show you that even if there are other potential problems in my car, I'm probably going to spend less than I would in gas because I don't have to pay for gas. So that's fantastic. Yes, I do have electricity costs, but they are fairly low. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is sort of going off of the fact that Tesla has been crushing it, just crazy outselling all the other electric vehicles out there. The Audi e-tron, I guess, basically has sort of had problems with production because I think battery supply problems. So interestingly enough, I think they were expecting to do like 70,000 units, and they've sort of cut that to around 40,000 units for the year. I also believe that Hyundai, Jaguar, and I think there's one other one, have all also had to cut production because they haven't been able to produce due to limited supply of batteries, is my understanding. So, you know, Tesla is sort of working the acquisition with Maxwell Technologies, but just working on getting better battery technology and building batteries in-house and not outsourcing them. You don't have to rely on a third party to provide you with those batteries. And I think a lot of these companies are using like LG Chem and things like that, maybe Panasonic as well. Now, to the point of these cars sort of cutting production due to, I think, battery constraints, I will say that if you still want an e-tron or I-Pace, I'm sure you'll be able to get one because nobody wants them. So I think there's like inventory probably. Point being, you should probably look into Tesla. I think there's a reason they're selling so well. And well, compared to like an e-tron or an I-Pace and not having a supercharger network and having less range, and it's probably just not worth it. But maybe it is. I mean, hey, you choose what car you want to drive, but I would definitely look into Teslas, or at least go test drive them. I have heard good things about the Porsche Taycan, so you know, go for that. I don't know if they're having battery constraints as well. I mean, it's sort of all Volkswagen Audi group. That's a lot of these Porsche and e-trons, obviously. So I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know if there's going to be production issues there, but it's just interesting to see that that's happening. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Tesla. However, it could. They are still, I believe, using Panasonic to make some batteries, and have partnered with some other battery companies. They haven't actually moved battery production fully in-house yet, so it could happen. But you know, as long as they've planned appropriately, hopefully they'll be good, and they can hit delivery numbers and actually produce the cars for those deliveries. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this Tesla Talk Tuesday. If you're enjoying the content, please consider liking and subscribing. But until next time, thanks for watching.